All right, people, ladies and gentlemen, I am Friendship Pearson and welcome to Friendship Blue. Let's say it together. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Happy Monday, happy Monday. A sunny, beautiful day here in Chicago and I'm loving it. And I pray we have plenty more and I pray you guys experience that. Hope you had a good time in the Lord this week, whether you're in church or not, that you love your neighbor as you love thyself. And we lift up the name of the Lord and we figure out how to endure until the end. Come on, angels. Come on, Holy Spirit. If you long for thy kingdom will come. If you long for thy kingdom, thy will shall be done. Well, what is the will of the people here in America? What is the will? Is it wrapped up in Trump solely? Or are we just unified on the morals and the history of our country and the fresh air of freedom? Or is it one big smorgasbord? Whatever it is, we know that the times reflect something that we don't think is good for the country. And one of the things is there's a possibility that Trump will go to jail. It's a slim chance. But how low can you go? The song said 20 years ago. Way down to the flow? Huh? How long can we go? And how low can we go? I don't know. You know, it's been depicted that Trump is being crucified, that he's being taken there. I saw a few pictures this week that literally depicted that. I'm scrambling in my brain to find that. Yeah, I remember seeing a depiction of Trump on the cross. You know, I get, so how low can it go? You know how I feel. None of this is real. It's all for show. But I want your opinion on a few things. You see, because now the question went back. I said it went back, like way back to Hillary. Like, hey, I didn't send Hillary to jail. I could have. That's what Trump is saying. You know, he had an interview this week. He said that. But then he also said, well, I didn't say send her to jail. But yeah, you know, he got cuckoo for Cocoa Pops and he got caught up in it. So I'm gonna bring that to you. But people, I want to ask yourself, do we live in different levels, different worlds when it comes down to America and the world? I mean, you heard of that thing, the wink and a smile, or, you know, money and prominence put you in a different level. Classism, and you play the game a certain way. You give me, I give you. You know how it go. So what I'm saying is that there a lot of money got given to Trump after the 34 count, right? Including some millionaires, or should I say billionaires, got involved. So I want to go through that whole thing because I want to know if your dollar really counts. Because historically, if we look at America and the world, it's not always going in the direction that the people want. We got that thing back in the day they was pushing for campaign finance reform. But you know, the rich folks, allegedly, they get around that. And they can pitch off money to other folks and still get it. And then they got the alleged private meetings, the dinners, and the different functions. You know, look, it's pay to play, allegedly, but I digress. Let's start this. Let's get this party started. Check it out.
FBI Director James Comey joins me now, and he's written a brand new book, Westport, a crime thriller set in Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut, so, you know, I don't know, you want to make people think there's all this crime happening there, but that's okay. Congratulations on the book. So I just wanted to start with, of course, the news this week. And before the verdict, you had said it was highly likely to result in a conviction. That's obviously what happened. A year ago, you made this prediction about Trump wearing an ankle bracelet. Do you think he's going to be wearing an ankle bracelet or be in jail after the sentencing?
I don't know. Seems unlikely, but I've never seen a defendant beg for it more by attacking the judge, attacking the jury, attacking the witnesses. One of the key things in assessing what sentence is appropriate, a judge looks at, so are you sorry for what you did? Are you respecting the system? This defendant is running the other way.
So a lot of people have suggested that there are a range of factors that would make it difficult to put the system has not been tested in this way. Do you agree with that it would be difficult or nearly impossible for the law enforcement institution?
So this is the climate You guys got to remember, I put that out there about maybe 4 or 5 days ago. I'm like, I'm like, Trump is not doing himself a favor by talking about the judge. Talking about how unfair it is. I get it, you got a grievance. But again, most people go to court when they're out. They don't speak negative about the one who could make a difference in where they might go or how long they might go. You guys responded, but he didn't help himself. And this guy wrote a book. He's saying the same thing. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying, put it in perspective. I get it that you feel it's unfair, Trump, but it looks like to me, like I said the other day, we have a cast. We have a cast and have a cast of characters. What is Trump casting, or is he? Is he allegedly casting something so he can go lower? The lower he goes, the higher he goes. Because remember, the powers, that's how they play it. As above, so below. You get the hint? As above, so below. So he goes low, 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 low. He gets, quote unquote, Christ crucified. He is the quote unquote chosen one, as he said, whether it's in context or not. He said all those things, but from a biblical perspective, he's getting quote unquote crucified. However, is it a setup for the future that when he rises up, everybody rises up with him? In other words, our emotions is caught up in him. Then when they finally take him down, we implode. That's what I'm saying. So let's go at some other aspects here. Now here it is, Trump got caught up in a lie saying that he did not say, I was going to send Hillary to jail back in the day.
All right, also in that Fox interview, Trump was asked why he never went after Hillary Clinton for her use of a private email server while she was Secretary of State. I'm going to take an issue with that question because let me tell you, as someone who covered it day in and day out, that matter was brought up frequently through the 2016 election. Watch.
They all said lock her up, and I felt, and I could have done it, but I felt it would have been a terrible thing. And then this happened to me. And so I may feel differently about it. Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up, lock her up. Okay, then we won. And I said pretty openly, I say, all right, come on, just relax, let's go. We gotta make our country great.
So he points at himself and he says, I didn't say lock her up. Yes, you did.
Tell you what, for what she's done, they should lock her up. She's just great.
I gotta laugh because this reporter CNN, they did their homework. Now, why would Trump do this interview, yesterday? Knowing good and well we in a push button research world. You feel me? I mean, come on. Now you're doing the politician thing, Trump. Come on, stop playing. Now the question is why? Is he playing a high-stakes game? And if he is, do our $29 votes, as he always talks about, means more than the $1 million votes? What really matters? Is he a sheeper? Is he a sheep? Look, what is he? Because now he's playing politics. Look, I'm in the middle. Now I play it. I just want to make y'all think. Why would he say one thing after all the major networks know what he said in the past? Is this how you play the game at that elite level? Knowing you might need a favor out of them in the future. That's all I'm saying. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Because we have a donor from the past that's speaking.
Trump has said this is essentially pay to play, and that's what a lot of Republicans are saying. Donald Trump himself gave $100,000 at least to the Clinton Foundation. Was he giving that money pay to play?
No, the Clinton Foundation does a lot of good work, and I also want to say that for the record they do. But the question is, why these meetings with the State Department? Shouldn't the State Department...
Right, but was your candidate donating that money so that he could have access to Hillary Clinton wherever he
No,
wanted.
because it seemed like he had access to her anytime he wanted. I mean, she went to his wedding. They went to his wedding. Seems like he, as
Well, he gave
says,
money, I mean.
as he says, sure, because they do good work, and let's hope that that money went to good use.
So he wasn't paying to play.
No, he was not paying to play.
But Donald Trump himself, I mean, on whether or not he was paying to play, I mean, he has sort of said, look, I had friends in a lot of places. I gave a lot of money to a lot of people. I know the system better than anybody else. It's a corrupt system. I mean, the intimation is, you know, he knew how things worked, and so he was taking part of it just like all the others.
He has never told me he's going to the State Department to have a meeting with Hillary Clinton.
So that's the history. That's the history. I tell you, look, I want you to think on that level. I mean, look at this thing here. Donald Trump in 2008. Hillary is a wonderful woman. Then they get before the camera and they do all kind of, you know, rock'em sock'em robots to each other. Then they come back on the networks and they do damage control. Look, y'all, I just want y'all to think about what I'm pointing out. Now watch this. Here's a video from yesterday. Support our work. Well, wrong headline. This billionaire plans to bankroll Trump 2024 bid. Watch this. Billionaire. Do they have more clout than we do? Here we go.
Billionaires are rallying behind Donald Trump to help him close his fundraising gap with Joe Biden. In what could be a huge boost for the Trump campaign, Miriam Adelson, the widow of casino billionaire Sheldon Adelson, is reported to be planning on spending up to $90 million to fund a Trump-supporting super PAC Preserve America. How much Adelson will donate to the super PAC is unclear, though the person familiar with her plan said the group was expecting to spend more than it did 4 years ago when Adelson and her late husband Sheldon donated $90 million to Preserve America. Their funds accounted for about 85% of what the organization raised in total. So just how big of a conservative force is she? The biggest. In 2020, she and Sheldon Adelson gave more than $218 million to conservatives, making them the largest donors in that cycle, according to Open Secrets. She also donated $25 million in the 2022 election cycle. Want to bring you guys in here quick before we have more.
Another rapper said 20 years ago, let me clear my throat. Y'all remember that rap back in the day? Let me clear my throat. Put in the comment section, who was that? I got to giggle this morning. Look, people, I'm painting a picture that's real. You might not like it, but look, this is high stakes game. These folks doing something, and they did something in the past. I would take all day doing the research to find out what did she give money to both parties? Did her late husband give money to both parties? But I'm trying to get you to understand. When these policies are done, especially when it come down to overseas, which you're gonna find out, hint, hint. Well, allegedly overseas, put it to you like this. Do they have more influence than we do in terms of policy? These are critical times, so these things have to be asked. We don't get a chance to be one-on-one with these heavyweight people in politics to influence or whatever, or go about doing business, whether overseas or here. So I'm asking, hey, are you gonna be represented in the future? Sheldon Ellison and the spouse, Marion Ellison, billionaires. He died, Sheldon died, God rest his soul, but she's still alive. And she carrying on the tradition of giving out money on a timing basis, Now, check this out. They get the Medal of Freedom and all that big stuff back in the day, right? Medal of Freedom back in the day, watch this.
Law and other areas. And of course, a host of politicians make the list.
It's typically meant to recognize those who have had or done significant service. It's really the highest civilian award that exists within our government. The president appears to be thanking them not just for their service to the country, but for their political service to either his party or...
Can you believe Joe Biden got a medal? Are you kidding me? A presidential medal of freedom. Or should I say allegedly a pay-to-play symbol. Keep up the good work.
Or really their work as a politician.
On Trump's list this year is Miriam Adelson, who the White House cites for her contributions in narcotic addiction research and the 2 substance abuse research centers she founded, as
Just for the record, look what color tie he had on back in the day, a purple tie. And she had on red and black. Don't know if it meant anything back in the day, but that's what it was. This tape is from 5 years ago. Let's proceed.
well as her philanthropic contributions.
Miriam Adelson. A medical doctor, Miriam has dedicated her life to fighting addiction, something we're all becoming all too familiar with.
But what Trump failed to mention is that Adelson donated at least $87 million to Republican candidates in the 2018 midterm elections.
He failed to do what? Let's go back.
Becoming all too familiar with.
But what Trump failed to mention is that Adelson donated at least $87 million to Republican candidates in the 2018 midterm elections.
Hello! Hello! How low can you go? You can't go too low because you got folks holding you up, allegedly, and might even influence policy. I tell you, campaign finance reform? Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's keep going. Trump did this back 7 years ago. Check it out.
News from the White House. Las Vegas gaming billionaire Sheldon Adelson gives the president $5 million. The New York Times reporting the Trump administration raised nearly $100 million for the inaugural festivities. Adelson wanted prime seats at the swearing-in ceremony back in January. That also gave Adelson and his wife access to a private lunch with the new president and lawmakers on Capitol Hill. We're told that 2 other casino moguls also gave generously.
Wow. Now let's end this thing. How Sheldon Adelson influenced Trump's Israeli policy. Now, of course, this is just their news coverage. You know, I don't know if it was fair, as they say, but hey, let's just see what they said back in the day, and let's see what Trump said.
It's time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
When President Trump made this announcement, one man likely smiling was Republican mega-donor Sheldon Adelson. The staunchly pro-Israel casino magnate gave $25 million to a political action committee supporting Trump, and $5 million to Trump's inauguration festivities. The two weren't always on the same page. During the campaign, Trump said the billionaire was trying to make Marco Rubio his perfect little puppet. But Adelson, who's a college dropout who grew up poor, eventually got behind Trump once he won the Republican nomination. But during Trump's first summer in office, Adelson was disappointed that the president hadn't moved the American embassy from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv on day 1 of his presidency like he said he would. But now that Trump is recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital, he seems to be setting in motion a plan to move the embassy.
So what's the future? What's the future? And should wealthy people be influencing our policy? And in the times that we live in, especially since October 7, 2023, with all that madness going on in Israel, now we got the millionaires and the billionaires at it again. What are they going to do? And I know they've given, philanthropic donations, and maybe a little crumbs to the poor people, but I'm asking, let's just bring it on. What about the folks in need? Boots on the ground. Poor whites, poor blacks, poor Latinos, poor Asians, poor everybody, veterans. All the money they pouring out there at the top, all the cream, come on, man. You got 31 flavors at some ice cream places. Can we get a few scoops here? Come on, man. Does your vote really count? After you watch this, ask yourself, does your vote really count in the grand scheme of things? In the grand scheme of things. And is this one of the biggest hidden stories? Not just on Trump, but any of these jokers at the top. How the thing really go? And now that Trump is in the doghouse. Now they're coming out more and more. We need him in there, allegedly, because we need our issues taken care of. People, look, you might not like the videos that I present, but I want you to think this is our America. The Constitution say we the people. It don't say finance campaign, hidden in the dark secrets, move America. It says we the people. Look like we've been had, baby. Hate to disappoint you. Will I still back the spirit of the people who want a good thing through Trump? Yeah, I will. But hey, here's another video pointing it out. Everything ain't what it seemed to be. Because if I can have dinner with him, if I can whisper in his ear after I gave him all that money, I'm looking for accountability. You feel me? And you got to fill it in just how much of an influence these folks have and can have. Because if you do your research, like I have the last 30, 40 years, a lot of these folks, they keep doing business after they get out of office. And many of them go back and work for the people that gave them the donations. Put in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. That's the real world. I'm only asking for 2 scoops out of 31. But the times we living in looks like the influence is going to go in relation to the folks who donate the big money. Put my name on the check. Shit, man, come on. I'm Franchise Pierce. You like the work, like perspective, don't like it, let me know what you think. It's Monday morning. It's Monday morning. Pray for the country. But most of all, let's try to endure until the end. Hope this information made you think. Maybe you already knew about it. Does it sway your opinion either way? But I just want you to understand how the real world works. Because it's all at the top. Last time I checked, it ain't changed a bit. Take care.